Hope everyone's having a fantastic night or day or afternoon, wherever you're watching this from. Your boy Sage just tapping in. I just got back from the club. Like I said, this is the drip, by the way. Your boy was looking kind of clean tonight. You know, but yeah. Video topic tonight. I wanted to get a quick video out before I go to sleep. I'm keeping up my irresponsible streak and going out on nights where I have to work in the morning. So hopefully it'll be a quick video. If it's not, so be it. But yeah, topic for tonight. I wanted to talk about people that when you are attractive and conventionally attractive person, and the way people will try to humble you, and things to look out for, how to deal with it, and whatnot. So when you are a conventionally attractive person, and I hate this topic because it sounds so vain, just speaking about it, but it's a fact. I subscribe to looks maxing, and I believe that as a man, no matter how you look, you can always increase your, your appearance by grooming, taking care of yourself, figuring out what type of haircuts look better on you, going to the gym, getting your physique right, and yeah. So, as vain as it does sound to talk about it, here we are. We're gonna talk about it because there are some things to look out for, and people who think that once you look good or if you're attractive that everything just falls into your lap, you couldn't be more wrong. It may actually be more difficult in some ways to move through life as an attractive person. And so here we go. So things to look out for. So men, your presence in anywhere that you go, men will you automatically turn on their competitive side for men, especially if they're like very, low level human beings. Not like low level as in like I'm better than them, but just like low level as in, like they aren't as conscious, or they don't, they haven't been awakened in that regard. So yeah, you're gonna turn on their competitive side. So they're gonna try to size you up. They're gonna try to test you. They're gonna play these silly games with you. And yeah, the best way to deal with it is to just not give a fuck. Don't play any game that they try to play with you. Obviously, if they disrespect you, put your foot down, set your boundary and whatnot. But pretty much the best way to deal with it is just to stay away from them, walk away. There's no reason that any other human being should be able to get you off your square and force you into a situation where you might have to fight them because of something that they said to you. It's never that serious. You got to check your ego at the door when you go out, and the goal is to always come home in one piece, no matter what. You know what I mean? So yeah, don't play their games. And women. Women will do certain things. Women actually, like I said before, it may actually be a bit more difficult when you are attractive. Like, the pros of it, I guess, the benefits of it would be like, girls look at you. They look at you, they stare. But that's about it, especially in like nowadays, like they'll just look. Rarely will they ever approach, and if they do approach, it'll be a girl that you probably don't want. Well, I don't know what your style or what your taste is in women and whatnot, but me personally, I like a certain type of woman. I like a woman that takes care of herself, a woman that looks like she works out, she has a sense of fashion, she takes pride in her appearance. You know what I mean? So but yeah, I do get approached once in a while, but it's usually like a 4 or 5 type of deal. Like the type of girl that doesn't really get that much male attention. You know what I mean? So like they feel like they have nothing to lose, and that's pretty much like that's like taking the low hanging fruit, you know. And we're not into that on this channel. We like to get quality everything, quality life, quality women, quality clothes, everything is quality. So yeah. So yeah, there's that. So they will stare at you. You get approached by girls that you probably don't want. And then they will also project negative characteristics to you or on you because of the way that you look, and which is fine because like the game is kind of messed up because other men who are conventionally attractive use their powers for evil and not for good. So you're just gonna have to take that on the chin, whatever they project on you. You know, it is what it is. Like there's no getting away from it. No matter where you go, it'll be like that. They will call you a player, they'll call you a hoe, they'll say you probably get all the girls, or they might even try to go out of their way to try to humble you because they think, oh, he needs to be brought down to my level. Because, you know, girls they don't humble men that they think that they're better than, you know? Like they don't feel the need to. So if they feel like, oh, this man looks better than me, because like, again, as a man, we don't wear makeup. You know, what we got is what we got. So they're like, damn, like I'm all dressed up with my face painted and I'm wearing a skirt that shows half my ass, or my ass is pretty much out in the skirt, and I'm wearing all these beauty enhancements, you know, hair extensions and whatnot. It's all natural. So they're like, oh shit, this man's better than me. For me to even try to fathom talking to him, I need to try to bring him down to my level. And again, to deal with that, don't take anything that they say seriously. Like I said in the previous video, they're all little girls, man. They're all just little girls. So don't take it seriously. Just, you know, let it fall off your back like some water. It is what it is. They're gonna just know that they will test you though. They will test you even more than the average man. They're gonna test you. So just know that it's coming. Be prepared for it. And let it fall off your back like some water. And so yeah, like for example, I have a story actually. I have multiple stories. But I was at the club and it was about like 2:30, 3 o'clock. So the club was rounding up. And so I'm chilling in a booth with some guys that I met there. And you'd actually be surprised how much you can get away with by being well dressed, having good manners, and just being a generally decent human being at the club. I can't tell you how many times that I've got invited to people's sections while waiting in line by just striking up a conversation, and you know, like just being a decent human. People are really missing that in their lives. Like they don't really run into decent people. So when you show up, you're like a rare occurrence. And more often than not, I get like invited into booths. They give me drinks. You know, I meet girls that way sometimes. You know, so yeah, it happens. But back to the story. So I'm with the guys that I met. I'm in a booth, and these two girls come in, and I catch them looking at me. So I kind of just give them a little smirk. You know, hey, like, hi, what's up? How are you? And they're like looking at me like, oh, he thinks he's the shit. Like he thinks he's the shit. He thinks he's the shit. I'm like, all right, here it comes, here it goes. And so yeah, so I'm like, fuck it. I wait like 10 minutes. I'm like, fuck it. I'm gonna go say what's up. You know, whatever. I'm bored. Why not? I go say what's up. One of the girls ignores me completely, but she has a piece of tissue in her hand and she's crumpling it up like this. And she looks me in my eyes after ignoring what I said. She crumbles up the tissue, she drops it on the floor and steps on it, insinuating that that's what she thought of me. And so I was like, okay. I kind of like laughed a little bit. And yeah, that's what happened with that. Her friend though, I think was really feeling me. But you know how girls are at the club, like they have like a hive mind and they can't make decisions for themselves, or like they can't make a stand for themselves. Not that they can't, but most times they don't do it. And so even if one of them is feeling you, if they don't have the approval of like the whole group, they're not gonna do anything about it. And it's the most annoying thing in the world, because it's just like, grow a pair, you know? Like, grow up, be an adult, make your own decisions. But nah, they're too scared about being an outcast or whatever it is. And that's so wild to me, because it's like, you're really gonna let your miserable friends determine if you have a decent night or not. Because if you really observe girls at the club, all they do is walk back and forth between going to the bathroom and the dance floor. And it's like the whole night. That's all they do. Bathroom, dance floor, bathroom, dance floor. And when they are dancing, it's like they look like they're not having the best time. Some girls, mind you, they look like they actually came to the club to dance, but a lot of them, they just look like they're there just because they have nothing better to do. And those are the same girls who have the audacity to look at you sideways for trying to talk to them. It's like, damn, all I said was what's up. That's all I said, you know? But yeah, and then at the same night, after the club was over, everyone kind of like gathers around at the front while they wait for their rides. People are talking to each other and whatnot. And I'm kind of hanging out with some of the guys that I met that night, just, you know, chopping it up, saying, talking, doing whatever, you know. And so I'm standing there just like, you know, being myself and whatnot. And one of the girls that I saw at the club looks at me and points at me and starts laughing. And I'm like, this is an interesting test. So what I'm thinking that she's trying to do is that she's trying to, again, humble me. Because back to what I said, when they look at you and they think that you are better than them, they will do everything in their power to try to bring you down. And where guys make the mistake is that they let what girls do to them affect them. And you should never let that happen. Girls don't know what it's like to be a man. They don't know the struggles, and a lot of them just completely don't even respect men at all. And you should never ever let anything that a girl does sway your emotions in any way, form, or fashion, because all it is, it's a psyop, it's a mind fuck, it's a mind game. So I stay there looking at her unfazed, kind of looking at her confused, like, what are you laughing at? Like, no one said anything funny. And then she like stumbles away looking kind of like defeated and like looking kind of like oh, my little trick didn't work type of energy. And I was like, yep, here we go, you know. But yeah, it be like that, man. When they find you attractive, they see you as a threat, they see you like something that they have to like bring down to their level, because, you know, they're used to men treating them like their shit don't stink, you know. That's what they're used to. And when they see a man that has confidence in himself or self-assuredness, and it doesn't come from a place of arrogance, it should never come from a place of arrogance. Your confidence shouldn't come from anything that can be taken away from you. You know what I mean? Your confidence should always come from like the person that you are internally, like your character, like the things that you've, I wouldn't say accomplished, but the things that you've endured, you know. And that's one thing that's missing with men nowadays. And this is probably a topic for a different video, but I'll get into it a little bit now. I have this idea, I have this plan where I want to create like a program of some sort. I spoke with someone that I met when I was out one night, and he kind of helped me put the pieces together. But I want to start a program for young men, and it would start as an after-school program where I would invite, or I would be working in tandem with the most competent men that I know, and we would provide courses or classes for young men. Things like how to dress, how to speak to women, how to file your own taxes, how to, what else would we do? Maybe even how to drive, teach them how to drive. how to make their own money, like things like how to do their resume, things of that nature, just like things that regular school doesn't teach young men, because there is a little epidemic that's going on in society right now. A lot of young men, they don't have a way to they look a lot of young men look for ways to prove their manhood, because I'm gonna go back in time a little bit. So back when we were still hunter gatherers, right? Men would take their sons, and when they were coming of age into becoming a young man, they would do things that are like a rite of passage. So they would take their sons into the wilderness, for example, and have him spend a week by himself, unsupervised. They would have him maybe kill his first boar by himself, unsupervised. They would have him maybe, you know, something of that sort. But that rite of passage would be the way that he would prove that he's become a man, like that there's been a shift, and that's lacking nowadays in society. And so young men look into the wrong type of things to prove that they're men. They go into gangs. They maybe try to get their first body, like killing someone. They try to have sex with a woman for the first time, and it's like by any means, right? They might go pay a hooker just to say that they've had sex, so they could tell their friends, "Oh, I'm a man. I've had sex." They might try to rob somebody. They might, just things of that nature, and it's all negative. And so the program would be the middleman for that, or middleman, or yeah, the middleman, I guess, for that, where we would teach them these things and let them know that it's okay, that you don't have to go down that path, that there's other ways to prove your manhood. And I even went as far as thinking that maybe in order for them to be able to even join the program, that they would have to do something like a rite of passage of sorts. Like, for example, maybe you have to wake up every day for a week and run a mile and record it, or send proof that you did that. So at least they feel like, oh, I'm not just joining this group for free. Like, I had to sacrifice something to join the group, and it shows that you're a man. And that ties back into what I was saying before, that that's where your confidence should come from. Those type of things, like, oh yes, I've done these things. Your confidence should never come from, oh, I'm handsome, because that could be taken away from you, and that's really surface level. It's very superficial. Or, oh, I have money. That can be taken away from you, and having money doesn't necessarily mean you have good character. But it's good to have money, don't get me wrong, obviously, right? But like, it's not the end all be all. And so yeah, confidence, your confidence should never come from superficial things, because it should come from your own innate characteristics, the things that you've been through, the things that you survived. That's where it should come from. And yeah, I guess that's the video. We're about 20 minutes deep. And yeah, don't let women get you off your square. Never let them get you off your square. It's not worth it. They're little girls. Treat them like little girls. Okay, have a good one. God bless.